Jacoby.
In a world where ravioli gives you chronic diarrhea.
That's this world.
In a world where spinach makes you question things. In a world where Chihuahua's farts smell like cupcakes.
Okay, I'm keeping this.
Music.
That goes here.
Do.
You don't literally have to do that each time.
I will do it each time.
Heineken Pabst Blue Ribbon.
You're so right.
Wow, flippers and all. Wow.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa. What you know about my boomstick?
You see my distant fellow? Yeah. I hate to kill him.
Can I have another bowl, please?
I think you know the way.
But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
Welcome to Geekisodes, where everything's topical about anything. I'm your host, Jacob.
Oh, me.
Yes.
I am the love-struck Lawson.
Oh,
Nice. Nice.
I am Bobby.
I am the jambalaya Jesse.
Oh my.
Only Uncle Ben's version though.
What?
I could just eat
Because
you right up, boy.
I'm sad and depressed.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
Uncle
kidding. no, I'm
Ben's
not.
not sad and depressed. Peter's sad and depressed.
Eat me. Jambalaya Jesse.
Okay, guys. So today's topic is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have
For
fun.
you three.
Okay. Again, I told you we're
For
not
all of us.
we're not enemies, brother. We're not.
We're
We're all
I was pretty much by myself in the Star Wars thing, so this is
right.
This is
It's
coming full circle.
guys. You know, opinions are like buttholes.
Hey,
but anyways,
where
so
are we?
where are we?
Where are we?
Where are we and what?
We are on YouTube.
Yeah.
We also
Oh,
have
yeah.
a
That's
Twitter and a Facebook account.
Yeah, plug. Word
wow,
up.
you found
And we might be on Friendster one day. MySpace.
We can dream, man.
And you might be able to find us on Napster.
We
if
could
that's-
be on
is
your
Napster still a thing?
Apple TV
No.
one day.
I don't think it is.
And no, we already are slightly. Episode 2's on
Slightly.
your Apple.
Episode 2 is has been approved for iTunes, so that's cool.
We'll be on Grinder too.
Oh no! I'm not getting on Grindr.
We are
You guys-
definitely-
Swipe right for us, please.
We are
guys are
totes on
on
Grindr.
For the Jewish people, we'll be on
Grindr.
J dates.
Oh please
Yes,
stop.
it's pretty. Yeah. Anyways, reeling it in. Okay, so we are talking about basically the biggest sensation in cinema right now, the Avengers, the Infinity War.
The Infinity Wars.
Infinity War. So we are going to review this and discuss it in this episode. Now, to start off, let's just keep it simple. Let's go around and give one word.
Well, before you do that, I just thought I'd say when you said we were reviewing the biggest cinema, masterpieces, I thought we were going to talk about I Feel Pretty. So this is a surprise to me. I was not prepared.
We're quick about that movie, all right? and it bothers me. It really bothers me.
Okay.
I had no idea that movie was coming out.
Right.
I didn't know it existed, and it bothers me too deep down.
That you
'Cause
didn't know?
I usually know when movies coming out and what movies coming out. I had no idea.
snuck
up on you.
Amy
Showed up on
Schumer
you.
was
Here's the
gonna have a
thing.
movie.
What's funnier is I watched the movie Shallow Hal, and then I see a trailer for that movie, which is somewhat of a similar premise.
It just
Somewhat,
yeah.
somewhat. Not too close, but you know.
It just
So,
weirds me out.
Before we start,
Yes, of
I would
course.
like to add something that 3 out of 4 of us in this room saw it together. One was a limo and couldn't make it. For good reasons.
I saw it the next time. Yeah.
I'm allowed to
Right.
give you a time
And
back,
quick, first half of this is going to be spoiler free.
Yes. Yeah. You're
Yes.
good until the commercial.
Good
break.
until
You're safe,
we
guys.
Tell you that you're not.
If you haven't seen it yet.
then the second half is going to be full of spoilers.
Right.
So,
So
We will warn you.
You cannot say we didn't warn you. You really can't.
we're not that big of a bunch of a-holes.
Right.
I'm sure our 3 viewers are very grateful for that.
Oh, possibly.
First of
Hey,
all,
6. I resent that, Lawson. Anyways, I'm gonna start.
Okay. What are we starting with?
The one word.
Oh right. Okay.
So I'm just gonna say, you're not gonna have to bleep this out. Damn.
With the AAAAMN.
Why don't we, for dramatic purposes, come back to me last?
Okay, great.
So, I'm gonna go with the Owen Wilson. Wow.
Yeah. Perfect.
Do you not have a word?
Bobby zoned out. Bobby.
Just thinking, he's in deep thought. It's like,
He was having a little Kill Bill moment.
I'm gonna quote some JoJo Bizarre Adventures. Oh my God.
That's not one word.
He's quoting it.
Yeah, but I'm quoting
OMG.
it, and the way he says it, it's kind of like one word.
JoJo.
I can't do it as good as him.
Oh my gosh. Can I answer what I thought out of the theater and then what I've changed it to since when I came out of the theater, the forefront word in my mind was disappointing, and then once I sat and thought about it, it's changed to fine.
Okay.
So currently it's fine.
All right.
You will probably hear that said a lot from me.
It's fine. It's fine.
So, just in this room, we have 3 thumbs up and then 1 thumb that's kind of
in the middle.
I
did not dislike it. And look, if I have to give a thumbs up or down and there is no middle, it's a thumbs up. But there's a lot of love, and I'm pretty lukewarm on it. Is I think fair to state my position.
Okay. Cool.
So
let's.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll say this. I was expecting worse from you.
Yeah, I wasn't. I thoroughly thought he'd be like, yeah, it was fine. Like
I thought you'd be like, I didn't like it.
I definitely
it was
didn't hate
too
it.
predictable. I could have written better.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna lie. That was one of the things that went through my head that bothered me. Was I thought there have been movies in this MCU that I feel like were really good and like I couldn't have written better. I'm not gonna lie, and this will be more in the spoilers. I'll talk about what I thought. I thought I could have done better, or I could have at least edited this and tightened it up. And it bothers me that because I feel like I don't think I'm that good a writer or an editor. I feel like this had maybe some executives kind of pushing down on some certain aspects that we'll get into, or some things that I feel like kind of neutered what it could have been. And I feel like either someone didn't give it as good a second or third. Real quick, I feel like Civil War, because I'm going to compare the Civil War a lot because I feel like they're very similar in tone. I feel like Civil War didn't have a second draft. I feel like this didn't have a third draft. Like, it got a second draft. It was a lot more polished, but there were still some things that I felt like could have tweaked a little bit to make it better.
Okay.
Before you turn this off and you're like, I'm done with all the hate. This is just one opinion of 4. So I will cut into.
Oh no, it's gonna be mostly love.
That was pretty soft.
I'll cut in
what we're used to with Lawson.
If that's okay, I'll slide in here and be like, wait, there's more from this side.
Yeah.
My perspective. I thought this kept me on the edge of my seat.
Very true.
It
was a very exciting movie.
The pacing to this movie. This is my opinion.
No, go for it.
Don't give me weird looks.
No, I'm confused.
What are you confused about? People who like it?
Keep going.
So,
no, I get that.
So, like, the way these are characters I've already invested in. So, I mean, I'm not saying this. I've watched all the Marvel
well, we've
movies.
all watched at least most, if not all of them, up to this point, right?
So I have. Me and him have both seen every single.
So
one.
have I.
This is the way.
Have you seen everyone, Jacob? Have you seen every Marvel film up to this point?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we've all seen.
Yeah. So I'm connected to these characters. I know who all these characters are. I feel like if somebody was outside, they'd probably be. I don't recommend this movie for people.
No, this is a sequel in every sense of the word.
So, as I'm watching this, I'm invested in all these characters. I care about them. I'm at the edge of my seat, and I'm getting slammed with things like, boom, this happens. Boom, this happens.
So true.
Boom, this happens. And things kept hitting me, and I was like, oh, wow. Action just kept kind of...
Yeah.
Suspense was just kind of thrown at me in a very fast-paced...
Beginning of the movie hits you hard.
It really does.
Yeah.
Hits you hard.
The very beginning, without getting into spoilers, you're like...
It sets the tone for the whole movie.
And I do have a theory about that, which we'll talk about in the spoiler section. But my personal opinion, I thought this was a fantastic movie. Wow is what I left the theater.
Yeah.
I was wowed out, if that even makes any sense.
I get it.
But... yeah,
we have 2 other people to hear from still, so I'm just waiting.
Yeah, no. But yeah, basically it's like, and I will say it's one of my favorites. I don't know.
Yeah, I would agree.
But like, I found it. I think the key word for me is excitement. You know what I mean? It excites me to see all this action happening.
Yes.
It excites me to see all these thrills being thrown in my face. It's just so.
I'm nodding in agreement on this.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I like it. I don't get it usually, but oh yeah, like it while I have it. But yeah, no, because like here's the thing. What I enjoy thoroughly is, and it even comes down to what I prefer in comics. I like a team of heroes. That's what I prefer.
I do too.
Very much so.
Yeah, because it's exciting. You know what I mean? There's a lot more thrills and higher stakes when there's a team of heroes. So of course, inevitably, that's exciting.
You had a lot of interesting team ups in this. We won't go into it yet.
Yes, and with this, it's like yeah. The team ups that happened, you didn't expect to happen, but
Definitely.
you thoroughly enjoyed it when they happened.
Good matchups,
like,
too.
Yeah. You didn't know you needed it.
Yep.
So yeah, but that's really what got me with this movie. I think it did a good job at being exciting. Now, were there tonal flaws here and there? Probably. But they were kind of inevitable.
I'd like to hear that because that was one of the things I didn't seem to have a problem with. What
Really?
I guess you can't go into it. We may have to wait till the spoilers.
Well,
to get into
sometimes,
specifics.
but they're minor.
Yeah.
Is what I'm like. The tonal, like, okay, it kept its own pretty well paced, but I felt like, but there were certain parts where it got excessive with humor,
like the
just
jokes. See,
minor,
I didn't have that
minor
problem
parts,
at all. Ironically,
minor
and
parts.
I'm probably going to be the guy that's like I said. I like it, but I'm probably going to be the most negative guy here.
Yeah.
I actually thought the humor was just enough for me personally.
I didn't feel like the humor was bogged down like
No.
like Guardians 2.
See,
As
no,
much
Guardians
as
2 is one of my favorite movies of all
As much
time.
as I really like
Really?
Guardians 2, but there was a bit of time in Guardians 2 where it's like too much humor. Like
Well, Guardians 2 is a little bit darker than the first one. Just a little bit.
It is, but like there are just certain
Oh, yeah,
parts
it is.
like it shouldn't have been a joke here. You should have probably just kind of let things breathe for a little bit.
I don't know. I felt like that lightens up how dark it gets.
Well, I really like what?
Beer number 2.
Like not making a joke?
No, making a joke lightens up how dark
Oh,
it gets.
oh, okay. Yeah, I get that, but I just what?
We're joking about his alcoholism.
Oh, didn't
Not an alcoholic.
No, but I see what you're saying with
Yeah,
the tone.
for
I
me,
mean,
this movie I thought was great. I thought, and we're gonna get over on this. We might gush. I don't know about Lawson.
That's a lot. No, you should gush.
We might gush over Thanos for a while.
Oh, he was so amazing.
He was so complex of a
yes,
character.
Great villain.
See that face?
See, there it is.
Lawson's
there it
making
is.
a face right
There it
now.
is.
Like he's just
Everybody's
whatever.
sitting here and they're like, Thanos was one of the most complex villains of all time.
What was I guess we gotta wait till spoilers.
Yeah, we gotta.
I'm sorry. I'm genuinely surprised and curious because I knew you guys liked it. I just wouldn't have thought it was for those reasons because I didn't get that out of this film necessarily.
You didn't get complexity from Thanos?
No, I actually thought he was he was okay. He was a fine villain. I didn't think there was anything special about him. But I wouldn't put him in the upper echelons of Marvel villains, and I don't think Marvel villains are usually that great. I thought he was an okay.
But compared to other Marvel villains, though?
Yeah, he's okay. I think most Marvel
I
villains...
think he's better than most.
I think most Marvel villains are a 2 out of 3. 2 out of 5, and he's a 3 out of 5.
Really?
He's
well, who's the best in your
totally
opinion,
disagree
then?
with
Loki, the villain from the Vulture in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? The Vulture... Oh, and then...
I'll admit Vulture and Spider-Man.
I mean, Vulture's great, but...
He's a good villain.
What's
Good
his...
villain.
The Claw in Black Panther.
Oh, I mean Claw.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Claw.
Yeah, Claw and
His
Black...
name's-
Like, those are some of the best...
USES Claw.
Yeah.
Is his name.
Those are some great Marvel villains, and I thought he wasn't on the same level as them, but I also thought he was a level above, like, Yellow Jacket or whatever his name is. Or, like,
Yeah.
or Yellow Black Panther.
Whoa, that's where we're gonna fight.
Kill-
Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger, is amazing.
Michael B. Jordan is a great actor. I thought Killmonger was
Killmonger
a terrible
was great.
character. He was so boring.
No, he wasn't.
I would
No,
disagree with you,
You are-
Lawson.
That's a whole other
You
argument.
are wrong, Lawson.
That's a
You
whole-
are
yeah.
wrong.
That's a whole other...
Maybe we should
Bang
have
the
an
gavel.
episode
Somebody
about great
get to the
villains.
stenographer right
Maybe
now.
next week?
We already did.
Okay. Oh, yeah, next
so-
week. Yes, next week we should talk about that, even though Killmonger won't come up in that. But
No, he won't.
I will say this. I just want to clarify. I don't like Killmonger. This is not a reflection of Michael B. Jordan. I think he's a great actor. I just didn't think he was given the most to work with. I want to clarify there's a separation there. That's okay. You can disagree, but I want to clarify because I actually think he's a decent actor.
Personally, I think Thanos is one of the best villains that we've gotten.
I
in
really,
the MCU
yeah, I would
universe.
definitely
He
agree.
is-
like,
he
he's on a
is-
way more epic scale than most villains.
Because
What?
Like,
Dude, he
listen,
wanted to
listen.
destroy the universe. Like, come on.
Not like every other Marvel.
No,
villain?
not every
No.
other
The
Marvel.
Dark Elf dude wanted to destroy
No,
the
but
universe.
his reasoning is way more different because he was just being
We
an
need to
evil.
don't spoil things.
Well, I wasn't trying to spoil
Okay,
anything.
okay.
I can do this without spoiling
Okay,
anything.
okay.
He was just being evil while Thanos.
The Dark Elf guy's just being
the
evil.
Dark Elf guy was just Christopher Eccleston was just being evil.
Yeah, there were complex
There,
reasons Thanos
but
didn't be there.
Thanos' reasoning is complex, and you also like you're listening to him.
You can
and he
understand it.
You can understand his
What?
reasoning.
You can
for it.
you can empathize
Yes.
with him.
Yes.
His reasoning.
Did you not watch the movie?
I did. I
I
had
feel like you didn't.
negative.
I feel
Yeah,
like,
like, what the-
I feel like you watched
So,
this.
Objectively, it's
Can-
clear.
this isn't-
like,
you
this
watched
isn't a
it with
spoiler.
Walt's Vision.
This is just a section where he's talking about his childhood and how he grew up.
Yeah.
In his planet, and it was
You found that relatable?
well, not
No,
related.
you can
but
understand it.
just sympathetic. Like,
you're sympathetic to him because
I wasn't.
I was
Okay.
because he's like, I grew up and my family was what he said. His family was poor, and he wants to take.
Hold on, wait.
No, no, he wasn't
He
poor.
never
He
said
wasn't.
that.
No, he wasn't poor. No,
Also,
no,
is this
Gamora.
spoilers? Also, is this
Gamora.
spoilers?
that's right. No,
is it though? I mean,
I-
it's
I'm
not
asking.
No,
What
this
we're
isn't
talking about is not
spoilers.
really that
This
much
isn't
spoiler.
because this is comic book stuff too, right?
No.
Is this-
Thanos
it's
in the
different.
comic book
Comics, very
is
different.
evil.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah,
turned
straight up.
Thanos in the comic book who is straight up evil dude who in the comic book he's killing people for Lady Death. So his whole it's not him killing.
because he's a genocide fan.
Yeah, he just really wants to kill people to get Lady Death to love him.
Yeah.
But Lady Death's never gonna love him because she's in love with another man, and that man's name is Deadpool.
That is actually canon.
That
Which is great. Yeah.
Yeah, because Deadpool. I mean, Lady Death can't have Deadpool because he's unkillable. So it's one of those things where she can never have him, and he can never have her. But Thanos loves Lady Death, but he can never have her because she's always in love with Deadpool.
That's a slight tangent, but yeah.
That's very interesting to me.
Yes,
actually,
it's fantastic.
it is great.
So
Well, I
Yeah.
wanted to get back to what I was
Yeah,
talking.
that's what
Like
I'd like to hear.
Thanos' reasoning for what he's doing, when he explained it on
Yeah.
screen, I felt like, okay, that's a little out there, but I understand why somebody would feel that way. It's just a different
well,
perspective.
I thought when he was present, he really commanded the stage. I think
Yeah.
Josh Brolin gave
Oh,
a
Josh
great
Brolin is so
performance.
good.
because like I find again, just to go back, the Vulture I find sympathetic. Like I get why he does this.
Yeah, you get why he does it, but it's just Michael Keaton being
No, but
Michael
Loki.
Keaton. What's so?
No, Loki. I understand his reasoning. I don't understand Thanos' reasoning. It makes no sense. And
I think it does.
I think it perfectly adds up.
He's-
What-
he
what
was
doesn't
on a
make sense
planet.
about it?
He was on the planet, and he recommended, hey,
He recommended
we'll run out of Renaissance.
Yeah,
I'll save that then, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyways, the reasoning he had for it's crazy, but you go, I could see why somebody would think that, even though it's wrong.
I can't.
That's-
I can't even get like because there's villains I can get in the headspace of where I'm like, okay, I get where you're coming from. I felt none of that here. He had as much. To me, he like had a softer side, which is the only difference. But I was as sympathetic to him as I was to Yellow Jacket. I just think I think his plan made as much sense as Yellow Jacket's and was as logical as that.
Yeah, I really disagree with that. That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, you prefer boring old Michael Keaton with wings over
100%. Michael
Why?
Keaton is the best.
I'm
villain in
actually.
the
I'm
MCU.
going. I'm not going to defend your choice of Thanos
Disagree.
versus the Vulture. But I will say this: I really did like Michael Keaton's portrayal of the Vulture.
He was good,
even
but,
though
like,
it wasn't
I
comic
mean,
book
come
Vulture.
on, just him
but-
with wings compared to a big purple guy. I mean, dude, big purple guy's way more.
No, I'm talking about the motivations behind them, and I think you understand that his motivations were actually
His motivations were he got screwed over. He thought.
Yeah, he is more objectively sympathetic.
Yeah,
but
but I'm not going to sit there and defend like Thanos is the upper echelon of Marvel villains.
yeah,
Yeah.
he really is.
He's up there with Loki. I'm throwing that out there. Because if you go Marvel MCU villains, it's Loki and Thanos at this point. And then
I'll add this while we're still in the spoiler free section though, because I know we got a little longer. I know, but I really appreciated a lot of the theming. I felt this is why I keep drawing comparisons to Civil War 2, where you look at the overall message and the overall kind of point of it, and if you look at the grand scope, pull back from the details, I actually really like a lot of the overall plot. I think the theming's really good. I think painting what Thanos believes as villainous is actually a very subtle but very important like message. Because if we get into kind of his worldview, which is why I found it so interesting that you found it sympathetic, because I thought the fact that they painted what he believes as villainous, because there are some analogs to real world people that believe that. I find it very like, I think it's a good message to say this is a bad idea. People that believe this are bad people. I genuinely think that. So I get behind that. It's the moment-to-moment plot beats and the fact that I'm supposed to find this thing that I think is one of the most reprehensible worldviews in the world is understandable or sympathetic that I can't wrap my head around.
I think it's understandable to a certain point. We still look at it, it's not objectively wrong. What am I trying to say? It is wrong.
It's objectively wrong.
Yeah, no, it is wrong. I'm not saying
that's what I'm saying.
I'm like, oh, I can see why you're committing genocide. No, I
No,
wasn't saying I was doing that.
I wasn't.
Like...
I'm not agreeing with genocide at all.
No. It's just like
I'm just the circumstances that led him into believing this crazy idea that genocide is okay. It's for me. It's understandable because he had his it's a lot of decisions. Your heart is in the right place. You have good intentions, but it's definitely
there
not
were
right.
a lot of powerful emotions attached to him.
Yes,
agreed,
and you could tell.
Agreed.
Which is great.
That's what I'm getting at.
That's why I
don't.
That's why I sympathize with him more.
See, this is one thing I'll really give the movie. I think this is the best. Maybe okay, it's up there. I can't say it's the best, but at doing this in the whole MCU, is being able to get maybe an emotional reaction.
Yeah, that's why
this is very good. I don't care about that.
Well, why not?
Because you're emotionless. And
no,
you don't
because
care?
there's no. Because I am laughing.
Me watch a movie.
I'm just kidding. We're giving you a hard time.
Because again, I have, and I'll get into this. Like, there's a reason where it's like you think, oh man, Thanos. Like, there's all these feelings because he feels like he has to do this thing, even though he thinks it's difficult, and it's you got to do the right thing, even if it's bad. That's kind of his mindset. But it's totally undercut by something we'll get into spoilers that I'm just like, it took me 0.5 seconds to think of this. And why didn't he just do this instead? And so I can't take any of his emotions seriously because there's I can't be smarter than 20 screenwriters and this big purple alien dude who has like infinite knowledge and all these advisors. But in 0.5 seconds, I thought, why doesn't he do this or this or this and it just kept coming. So I can't take any of his. It's like a man who's like killing a dog. He's like, this is the only choice. It's like, why don't you do anything else? He's like, because I have to. And it's like emotional in the sense that it's sad that this dog is dying, but it's not in the sense that I can't sympathize with the man killing the dog when there's like a billion other options you could choose.
Yeah.
Like when your logic to get to this very difficult decision is so dumb that
see, that's where I disagree. I don't think it's dumb.
Anything dumb about it.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta get into spoilers.
Well, we get into spoiler section.
That's what I was about to say because it's time to get to spoilers. Let's get to our commercial from a. It's going to be difficult for people to get there.
Yeah,
true. You have to be invited to a tournament. From a Thunder God.
It's like passing through Congress on crack, basically.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get there.
Lots of training required.
Lots of training involved. Mm-hmm. And if the other side wins the 10th tournament, they get to, attack us. So,
yeah, we'll see how this goes down.
Hey, that also ties into that spine replacement thing we were looking into. So.
Oh, yeah.
Very much true.
In a way.
Yeah.
And let's get to it. Welcome to Shang Tsung's Wonder Emporium. Shang Tsung has died, and I have made a deal with Shao Kahn. So now I have all these souls for you to see. Like Emilia Earhart, who died in the First World Combat. Adolf Hitler, Heath Ledger, Casey Anthony's daughter, Wendy's from Wendy's Fast Food, Mufasa, Nicolas Cage's career, and pretty soon, Bill Cosby, and Kit from Knight Rider. Shang Tsung's Wonder Emporium, next to the only McDonald's in our outworld. And we're back.
Get over here!
Yeah.
Yes.
Hope you found that interesting.
Heads up, we are totally going into spoilers.
Spoilers.
If you didn't hear,
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was about to say. That's
Spoilers.
exactly what, so we're gonna spoil. Okay, so guys, listen closely. Things are about to be spoiled for you. If you have not seen the movie yet, do not listen to this part of the podcast. As much as I would love for you to listen to the whole thing, don't listen to this part until you've seen Infinity War. So we warned you. 3, 2, 1, spoil. Okay.
I want you guys to go first because if I say what I say first, the entire thing will be y'all going, what? How did you? So I want y'all to go first.
All our favorite heroes were raptured. Okay, I've been waiting to say that ever since we started.
Yeah. honestly, it's like
so many people died. Let's
So-
start with the beginning real quick.
Are we gonna go to the kill list?
Well,
Shop memory?
I want to start with the beginning because the opening of the movie is
kill list number 1.
Well,
And I have a theory attached to this.
okay, all right, so the opening of the movie is a very strong opening for a Marvel movie.
Yes. Oh my
Where
gosh.
first they kill Hamdell, and then you have Hulk getting his ass kicked by
Okay,
Thanos.
I loved that was my favorite fight in the whole film was Thanos versus Hulk.
Because in like now and then like I get that it was a good fight.
I love that they didn't. I love that they made Thanos have such tight, like it looked like he was comic. Because Hulk's, really raw and big haymakers and stuff, and Thanos had these really tight jabs, but he's as strong as the Hulk. I loved that like storytelling through fight choreography.
And then
It was really, really well done.
and then R.I.P. Loki. My boy Loki.
question mark.
I think he's dead.
Question
I
mark.
don't.
No, he's not. I'm positive he's not.
And let me tell you
'Cause,
this.
like,
There's no
me
fanfare.
and Jacob had this conversation on
What?
the ride home. Would Loki be that stupid?
he wouldn't. That's the thing. His character is established as not being that dumb.
There is something that noticeably happened right before Loki went up to Thanos.
Yeah,
He looked at Thor
he did.
and he gave him this look, and I was like, "What is he doing?" And then I saw him do the knife, and I was like, "That's very dumb."
Yeah.
And it said dumb all over it. It was a dumb action.
Loki
on
is
Loki's
the god
part.
of mischief. He's the trickster. It would be very Loki of
I am
him
not.
to fake death
I am
like
not.
that.
I'm not going to sit there and say that they're not going to come back out later on and say, "Oh, hey, Loki's alive." If they want to keep on making Thor movies after this phase of everything,
Yeah.
I do not see him coming back.
He's coming
in
back.
Infinity Wars. I do not.
He is.
I might be wrong. I might be wrong. And you can say I am wrong, but you don't know yet.
Yeah.
But regardless of what is actually going to happen, that was a devastatingly heavy blow at the very beginning of the movie.
There was so little fanfare given to it that I went, okay, so he's clearly not staying dead. It never registered with me because, again, we're in spoilers, so it's okay now, right?
Yeah.
Peter at the end was given fanfare. Now I know he's coming back because he's got 6 more contracts that undercut it a little bit.
I mean,
but what I'm saying is that was given a moment of like wait, and I'm like, oh man, this is a death. Loki's just like, ha, snap, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, what's the joke?
But that's what I'm saying.
Like,
It's like
There is no
but that's-
joke. It's setting up Thanos. It's showing you that he's the big bad because he in the first 5 minutes of a movie, he kills off 2 characters in Thor.
I'm
And
not gonna
only
lie.
that-
I thought Heimdall died in Thor Ragnarok. I forgot he was still alive. So
that's your fault. So that's to set up this Thanos. We've been waiting for him. He comes in, kills 2 people, beats the crap out of Thor. It's telling you he's not a normal Marvel villain. He's no joke. He's the guy
way
there
more intense
to,
than what you're used to.
Yeah, he's
Like,
not.
He not only will he kill people, but he can kill people.
I thought him fighting Hulk was very effective. I thought the rest of it didn't because Loki's death was given so little fanfare. It didn't even register with me. I forgot Heimdall was even alive, so that didn't register with me. So I actually thought it was a little weak at the beginning.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
thought it had
That was
very heavy
especially,
emotions.
especially when the opening scene is them showing the dead bodies of Asgardians,
Yeah, that's
including
pretty.
children.
It's pretty intense.
when Ragnarok ended, and he was like, "This is our
Exactly.
our
That's
family."
exactly
and
why-
then he took off, and then everybody's dead at the very beginning. You're like, "What?"
That's exactly. There's no
What?
time given to even deal with that it didn't register, and it makes me think, oh, they're just gonna bring them all back. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh no! Infinity Wars is literally them bringing everybody back to life when they get.
So
to Infinity War.
that's gonna be a big theme as we go through this. Is none of the deaths except for Peter's, which was emotional, registered because
Peter
I was
Parker.
just
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Right.
Peter Parker. What are the Peters?
I thought of Quill. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
But
sorry. Yeah,
okay.
Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Well, I was sad just because I like Chris Pratt so much.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. When Chris Pratt died, I didn't think no Star-Lord. I thought, oh man, he's gonna have less screen time in Infinity War 2.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. That was my mindset.
That's kind of my feeling.
That was what
too,
went through my
but-
head. But then
No,
and then
I
Peter
wasn't.
died. That was what went through my head. And then
Yeah.
and then when Spider-Man dies, that was the only death that I thought had any emotional weight in the entire film.
It did have the
And
most.
I thought
on me,
all the
but-
deaths. I thought all the deaths had. I thought it had its weight to it.
Yeah.
But I will say Peter Parker's death is the most heartfelt death because
what he
it's
said.
so devastating.
Oh my
he's
gosh.
so
16
he's a
years
child.
old.
Yeah.
He's a young kid.
He's a child, and
he's
they're like, and he's just like, Tony,
I don't feel good.
I don't feel good.
Yeah,
And
and
your
you're like-
passes, you're like,
no. Like,
No.
well, it's
Tell-
exactly what Tony fears too, because
And
he's got this kid tagging along with him, and he makes all these attempts to get this kid out of here because he's like, dude, I don't want you to die. You're too young. And guess what happens?
And then Tony Stark's reaction was even like,
yeah,
it was. You could tell
his
he was
eyes
bothered.
were
He was just
wider
like,
than you could ever imagine.
he was like shaking. Like,
Yeah.
when it happened.
That was well acted because that was one of those.
Yeah.
And it was undercut by the fact that I know there's 3 more Spider-Man movies in the thing, so I know it's not permanent. But it was in the moment. Like I said, the moment-to-moment beats are pretty good at being emotional, and that was one of the highlights of it.
I'm not going to take away because I think that's probably unarguably the most heavy death that we had in the entire movie. But something that hit me heavy was knowing, like when Rocket was there when Groot went away,
Yeah.
and we as the audience realized that he is the only Guardian left because we lost Drax, we lost Gamora,
Mantis.
we lost Mantis, we lost Peter Quill, we lost Groot. All of the Guardians are gone, and Rocket is by himself.
well, half. This is now we can start talking about Thanos' actual goal. Because we couldn't talk about that.
There's so many.
There's so many things to talk about.
so
We're all
many-
over the
I know,
place.
but
I went all over first.
our non-spoiler part, we really wanted to get into it. But
So let's go back into
let's
that.
Let's go to Thanos' goal.
Let's talk about Thanos' plan.
Thanos' goal is we find out from his homeworld of Titan, he came up with this idea, which was very
It's population control.
objective. Well, yeah, it was. He was like, objectively, we kill half the population. Well, non-objectively, it doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, what. Randomly, we kill half the people for the world to survive.
Which is devilishly
Okay, and
evil.
he succeeds. Non-spoilers, obviously.
Well,
so at the very
end,
we'll talk about
but,
that in a
Yeah,
minute.
but we're talking about his
Well, I wanted to talk about the fact that random. I find it very interesting that he randomly managed to not kill any of the 4 founding members of the Avengers that are going to be there for the second movie.
He doesn't have control over that.
I thought
just
it was
clicked
very
his
convenient,
finger.
very convenient to the plot.
Finger, and then half the people die. You think, like, Black Panther died? I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's
That bothered me. That was it. It's not a huge deal, but it bothered me.
I mean, I get it. I mean, but we don't know. What about Hawkeye? We don't know if he died. Technically, I'm going to throw this out.
Yeah.
Nick Fury died.
Yep.
He was in the first one.
I meant the 4 main. I'm talking about Cap, Thor, Hulk, Iron Man, like the 4 main superhero dudes that are part of the most billable stars. Let me put it that way.
Yeah,
I found that
but-
convenient, but
I mean, it's
that's
fine.
a
I mean, it's
nitpick,
understandable.
and
It's
that is a
not-
real nitpick.
I mean, if you want to help, if it helps you out, Thanos did scare Thor. I mean, not Thor, Hulk.
Yeah.
No, Thor's still alive too.
Yeah, Thor's still alive.
Yeah, Thor's still
But
alive.
he did manage to scare Hulk not to
Now,
come out.
Here's a question I have.
That's true.
Yeah, that was a very interesting
'Cause-
dynamic,
'cause
I
Hulk,
thought.
Hulk was embarrassed because he got.
Hulk was
He's
like,
it's
"Nope,
his
I'm not
first
coming out."
Loss.
Yeah.
He's never lost a battle.
He lost to Thor, I thought.
No,
No.
he was going to, but then the
Yeah, but I don't
whatever
know.
his name is, I forgot.
I'll accept it. I think
Grandmaster.
I think that's a little. I'm waving my hand like, but I'll accept it as his first loss. That works for this movie. I thought it was a nice dynamic.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I think it was interesting because he never showed back up.
no, he won't.
He did a little bit through,
I thought he
Bruce
was going to
Banner.
show back up and break through the
That would've been
Hulk
so
Buster
cool.
armor.
So, Thanos' plan. Why doesn't he just make more food?
What do you mean? Oh, with the
Why? What you're gonna kill off the
Well, that's
population?
not
'cause
the
they have no
attitude
food?
of a conqueror.
That's then why? Then he's not sympathetic.
Well, no, he's
He's
Why
sympathetic.
don't-
Either he's sympathetic.
okay.
He's doing
Here's
the
how I
difficult
found
thing.
him. Here's how I found him sympathetic. Okay. Here's how I not because of what he was doing, not because I'm coming from like, oh, I see why you're doing that. No. It's
Okay.
because I see him as a person who actually has feelings, who feels emotion, who feels
okay.
a slight hint, not even minuscule, of regret.
Okay, see, I don't care.
Well, I do because
Okay, no, that's good. I'm just saying that
that makes for a
explains-
more emotional, complex character,
Yeah.
and that's good in a villain.
So that's what you mean by complex is emotion. Okay, I don't give a fig whether they're emotionally complex.
Well, why not?
Because that's boring. Emotions
I
are
don't think
boring.
it's-
No, they're not.
oh my
no,
god,
emotions.
you are a robot.
Well, you as a writer should know that emotions make a character more interesting.
No,
Yeah, they do.
No, I think it's what you do in the
So you want like a robot, just a dud for a villain? Is that what you want?
I want a character that I think complex. I think like there's complex reasoning that he's.
You would love Jai Courtney movies.
I don't.
Oh yeah, the most bland human, emotionless robot. Yeah.
Why plenty of people that do bad things feel bad? That doesn't make them more sympathetic.
Yeah,
but like Hitler had a puppy. I'm sure. Like I don't care.
Yeah, but that's not the point. The point is it at least gets you to. It makes it more complex because it makes it more interesting. Because a lot of poorly executed villains, they're evil to be evil.
I find those more interesting most of the time.
Why is that more interesting to you?
Because at least you've got because I don't find sympathy in him. I don't find sympathy in any of these characters are supposed to be emotionally complex. I find the characters that are like the Joker type, bat crap crazy, and just own it. That's way more interesting to me.
Yeah, but I mean, that's
everyone does bad things and feels bad.
So should every villain ever be like that then?
I think most, if it'd be more interesting. I don't find Thanos interesting. I don't find this archetype interesting. It bores me.
I disagree.
That's okay.
Very much so. I mean, I think there's variations to what villains are. So
Thanos's thing is what he sees that he's doing, unlike most people, is right. Like he thinks this is the best thing for humanity.
So why didn't he just make more food?
Because that's not who he is as a person. He's not a charity. He's a conqueror.
And
he's not doing what's right. He's conquering and pretending it's right because it makes people.
That's what makes it interesting.
Yeah,
why?
Because of the way he is. Just because you don't think that way doesn't mean that he's not.
Confused. I just can't even get in that mindset. Like I genuinely don't understand.
You just have to take it for what it is. I mean, it's like if he's an evil dude.
Let me do this
so
out.
Why doesn't he
you say that he should just create more food, but
wouldn't
a planet, if he kept on creating more food, wouldn't a planet be overrun by food?
Just make more planets.
So wouldn't I know it's a vast amount of space, but then wouldn't we run out of planets eventually?
Make more space. That's the other problem. We'll get into this. Is the Infinity Gauntlet has there's nothing in the movie. You can say, well, maybe it can't do that, but that is not established in this film, and that's a whole other problem.
It can do that, but that's not.
I've already established. I think when we talked about this stuff before, the Gauntlet and the Infinity Stones are a MacGuffin. It can do whatever you want, whenever you want.
Here, I feel like we're trying to have our cake and eat it too. Either
I feel like you're trying to have your cake and eat it too.
Either
we're just accepting what we're accepting.
He's a sympathetic villain trying to do something that's difficult but the right thing, and is so dumb he didn't think of an infinite number of better responses. And in case he's that stupid, or he's just a terrible jerk and is just pretending to have emotions, and then we were all fooled by it.
Can jerks not have emotions?
Not people that are willing to commit genocide.
I leave it on the air of what Jacob said. He's a conqueror.
Yeah,
he's you know what? I'm not giving handouts. This is the way. This is my idea. This is the way it should work.
Then why is that sympathetic? It's
not sympathetic from what he's doing. It's sympathetic from his emotions.
Then why does he feel bad if he thinks it's the right thing and that's his mindset?
Well, because sometimes it's
God.
It's a difficult decision for him to make. So he feels slight regret when he does it. But
I want you right now, listeners. Can you comment what you think about this conversation? I'm so curious.
So please,
Thanos. Who is he? He was talking to Tony, wasn't it, or Peter? When he shows up on Titan to get.
I thought that was Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it was Doctor Strange. Okay. And he's talking about it, and he uses the reality gem to show.
Yeah, how it was before.
That shows Titan. And he was like, and I didn't realize this until later on, but he was like, he's talking about it. He's like, I came up to them and I was like, listen, the only way our planet can survive is if we kill half the population. We choose at random, no matter what your status and how rich you are, how poor you are, whatever you are, we choose you at random, and then we destroy you, and then you go to this planet. And it wasn't killed by Thanos; it was killed by themselves.
Yeah, so I do find that very interesting.
And then he even goes to about Gamora. He's talking to Gamora. He's like, she's like, you killed my family, you killed half my race, and he's like, yeah, but look at your planet now. No babies that have been born have worried about food,
right? He saw
or
results.
Anything.
Yeah,
what he's doing is he's going and
he
I hate to say this, but his results are speaking for themselves. If what he says is true, that nobody's having to worry about food, because by killing half the population, they have a chance to rebuild, regrow, do things for yourself.
But there was a better solution.
But but you're not. That's Lawson's solution. That's not Thanos' solution.
Not from his perspective.
No, he.
It doesn't matter what you
then
think.
Then he's dumb or unsympathetic.
No, he's not dumb.
No, he's not
then
dumb.
he's unsympathetic.
No.
To a certain point, maybe.
Lawson vision. It is.
That's like saying, well, Hitler, because of his terrible experiments, got better medical things. The results speak for themselves. That makes him pretty sympathetic. I can understand why he gassed
Lawson.
No, I kept telling you over and over.
I think
not right what he did.
I think that it's so important that you have to put on a different lens. You're looking through it through one lens. You have to find another lens to look through and see the different layers that Thanos has.
What other lens?
Just the lens of the character.
Yeah,
like,
you have to look at it through
he's
a different
doing it
perspective.
specifically, Not.
Yeah, he's a crazy evil bad guy.
Exactly, and a crazy evil bad guy
Isn't
would wipe
sympathetic.
would wipe out half the. He's sympathetic for the tear that he shed, for the emotions that he felt in a scene. Well, okay, but that's sympathy. That's emotion. That's an emotion.
Did you care, Bobby?
Why do you feel bad about this genocidal maniac? I don't understand that.
Okay,
we don't feel.
I'm not gonna walk up to him and pat him on the freaking back.
That's
not what I'm saying.
You see, to you, you're thinking we're all being like, no, he was a good guy, and we think he did what was right. No, we don't think that. He's a complex guy.
Yeah.
Who's been through some stuff, seen some stuff, and he's thinking what he's doing is right. That's what makes him a complex villain versus people who know they're being evil and just don't care.
But I think that's what he is. I think he knows he's being evil and just doesn't care. I think he's inconsistent. I don't think he's complex.
No, he's not. He doesn't think he thinks what he's doing is what's best for the greater good.
Then again, he's either lying about that, or he's like, again, insane and unsympathetic.
I think you can't put absolutes on this situation.
No,
you're not looking
you really
through it
can't.
through the right lens. But we'll have to get into. We're going to be talking in circles.
Yeah,
if we keep doing
we gotta move on.
I genuinely.
So you disagree?
I genuinely
Lawson feels that.
I don't see how you can't understand.
So
it's clear to say, but whatever.
Lawson feels that Thanos is a little one-sided and he's either stupid or doesn't have any meaning behind what he's doing.
Yeah.
There's some other things that he could have done. I personally don't feel that way.
I mean, the movie clearly established, and it's not like that. Clearly.
But it's okay. We're allowed to have different opinions here. We're also allowed to give you a hard time.
That's fine.
Because I'm sure that there's at least one person out there somewhere who agrees with you.
Again, this is great right now.
I'll hug you after this.
You are in my position in the Last Jedi podcast. Yes. Even though I did have David with me, but...
We were supposed to have a special guest today. He couldn't make it. Yeah. Props out to David. We're sorry you couldn't make it to to discuss this movie.
Yeah, I hate you right now because you were supposed to be my backup.
We had 7. we saw it with 7 people. I started to get annoyed with John, who does the artwork. No offense, John, but my God, do not go to the bathroom and have us standing out there for.
Oh, come on.
I was kidding. Okay. I was like, I've been waiting 10 years for this movie.
Okay, but hey, props to Jonathan. He's an amazing artist.
Here's something we can maybe agree a bit more on my side on. The gauntlet was ill-explained, and what the Infinity Gems do were very inconsistent. Can we just? And I think we can put that to the side. But do you not agree?
Space, soul, time.
Okay, no, like the
reality,
stone that was
power.
established, and this isn't one of those I have to have a manual that explains everything, but they explained, like in the first Guardians movie, if this thing even touched the surface of a planet, kills everyone on it. And this movie is literally used as a force push gun. Does not use it for anything else. Like, that's pretty inconsistent. I think if
he used the reality gem to change reality.
No, I know, but I'm saying I wish it's stuff like, okay, remember when he turned Mantis
he used the time gem
and
to
Drax
turn back
into Silly
time.
String?
Yeah.
And then
that
he left,
reality.
and they just got better for no reason because it wasn't their time to die yet.
No, it was reality.
They just got better.
No, but like it was active while he was present. I think.
Okay, but what about all the other things he reality that didn't do when he went away? That's super inconsistent.
I don't know.
It just does what the plot demands.
What do you mean?
I mean that he realities things, and sometimes they stay, and then sometimes when it's convenient for the plot, they unsilly string for no given reason.
I think it's more of like
her knife never came back when it got bubbled. Remember, her knife gets bubbled and stuff gets bubbled. It doesn't come back when he leaves the scene. It stays bubbled.
Yeah, because he turned into bubble. He didn't like with Mantis and Drax. He didn't like. I think because they're human. He still needed the soul.
I see where you're coming from. I personally, I don't need that to be explained to me. I can leave that aside. I don't have to get into the science of why it doesn't work that way.
You misunderstand. It's not that I have to have it. If they had from the beginning done that, I would say, this is just the power. But they showed them doing these other things, and then they don't do that in this film. They are contradicting themselves.
If anything, that proves your other point, which we won't get into, that Thanos didn't necessarily want to kill everyone. He's just like, get out of my way for a minute. and then he's gone. Because could he not have killed?
Yeah, which
Mantis,
I think just makes it a really
Mantis and Drax
inconsistent-
right there. But
I'm also going to throw this out.
Need to,
by not killing Mantis and Drax, it's probably going to help Gamora help him better. I mean, I know he still had he still had to torture.
Didn't he have a mind control stone? I know Loki used that. I know it was in the scepter or something, but
the mind gem.
Like, why didn't he just mind control the people? And I know I hate Mike. I know I'm the guy that hates mind control, but they've established it in the universe. The one Loki had, he had that.
Yeah,
it was like the space one, and it mind controlled people for no reason.
Loki had space.
Yeah, but it helped him mind control people.
It had a poor influence on them. I don't think like the same effects of a Horcrux, or yeah, you don't know that, but
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, there it is.
Like, he doesn't know what Harry Potter is.
Yeah. No, but like, let me put it this way. I'm willing. This is again a nitpick. I wish they had just thrown out a line where they said, yes, the stones cannot be used to their full potential while in the gauntlet or something like that, because they weren't. They were shown to do one thing in every other movie, and then we get to this one, and then they do not the things they were shown to do in the other movies, or not to the extent that they did them. They were. You got to admit they were nerfed from how they were shown. Everyone was a universe-ending event, and then in this one, they're like, it's a force button. This one turns things into bubbles.
There might be an argument there, but again, I'm at the point where I'm not. That doesn't necessarily need to be explained to me. Maybe I'm lazy,
I'm fine with it. It doesn't make me like I'm not fixated on it. Honestly.
It's another thing that cut the dramatic tension out from under me.
You got to think too that Thanos is getting these for the first time. He may not be familiar with it, which leads me to another great point, which I thought was brilliant in the movie. And the moment he got the last stone from Vision, and he put it in, and like almost instantly, Thor comes out of the sky.
Thor comes out of the sky and nails him with that amazing axe that was put together by Groot. Oh my gosh, Stormbreaker with the Groot handle, and he just nailed him. He's like, that was Thor's moment. He'd been waiting for that the whole movie. Right. He's like, you've killed everyone I loved, and you're gonna get it now. And then he basically defeated Thanos. But in that moment, Thanos was like, "You should have got me in the head." Yeah, and then
I didn't realize this, and I don't think anybody else in the theater did because they were so focused on Thor's axe inside it. You're like, "Okay, this is over," and then he escapes, and then all of a sudden, his people start disappearing, and you're like, "What's going on?"
I realized it because he talked about it in the beginning. Well, who was it?
Yes.
Talk about Tony. He was like, I can snap my fingers like that, and half the population
said that,
gone.
But that didn't click with me at first, and I don't think it clicked with everybody else. Because I don't think it clicked with Jacob. I know you're shrugging your shoulders, but I'm talking about.
It didn't click with me at all.
I'm talking about my experience because I was sitting right next to you.
I'm not kidding. Thor in the air. I went. He's gonna hit him in the gut, and then he won't die, and then he'll snap his fingers.
Well, guess what? You're wrong because he hit him in the chest.
So
I'm rolling my eyes.
I'm talking about my.
Because you're wrong.
I'm talking about my perspective and how great I thought this was, because when Thanos went back, and I don't even think I noticed the finger snap. That's how much I was like focused on Thor, and I'm like, all right, dude, you're gonna finish this, and then he vanished, and all these people start evaporating into thin air.
Yeah,
and it got to the
first one.
It got to the third death, and then I realized it. And what he said to Tony Stark was, "I just want to stand on, and look to a grateful world."
A sunset, which actually that was a nice way to end the film.
And Jacob was like,
sunrise.
Jacob here was sitting, and he was like, "What is going on? I don't understand this." And I was like,
I don't remember that.
I was like, dude. I looked over. I was like, Thanos won, and you're like,
so won.
Oh. And you came to the realization.
They did a great job with this because the first person you see die is you see Cap looking at Bucky.
Yes, and he just
disappearing,
disappears. And you're like,
what?
At that moment,
what's happening? What?
You're like, what?
And here's me. I was like, I kind of knew this was happening, but I was like, oh god. And then you
can see why people didn't understand it at the very beginning.
Black Panther went, then Star-Lord, Drax, Mantis.
I'll give this because I can't agree that you did. Again, because that's what I thought was going to happen. Going into this movie, I thought it was going to happen. So but I got to give them, again, props. I don't think it was very surprising or even necessarily well written. Props to them on the execution, though.
Very good execution.
There was Was there no music? There was either very little music or no music.
No, it was no music
at first.
At first there was no music because I think during that scene
it's just like
where Thanos is walking towards the power gym.
Yeah.
It's all slow motion. It's just you're watching them trying to stop Thanos from getting over there. And I knew what was going to happen even when that gym went away.
He has the time
I was like,
stone.
he's going to turn back time. And I knew that was about to happen.
Yeah.
But it's still like him getting up there, him turning back time, and in the way he just takes out that. Okay, sorry, we had a dim light and it just came right back on. It was crazy.
Yeah,
it's like an angel's in the room. And then he just rips out the gem out of Vision's head.
Again,
that was a cool
props.
effect, though.
I was gonna say props to them for not having music. I actually thought that was a very effective way to show the scene. Because again, I was going someone who went like from walking into the theater, I was like waiting for this scene to happen. I was like, okay, when's he gonna win? Everyone's gonna die, and it was executed much better than I expected it to be. I thought everyone was just gonna like poof. The one by one fading. I thought it was nice. It was well done. I wasn't surprising, but it was handled better than I expected.
And let's real quick. The surprise person who showed back up.
Red Skull.
that was great.
That was
was awesome.
I was like, what?
I was like, oh crap,
because you know you don't think about him the rest of the series.
Well,
but
yeah,
then
especially
there.
when you know about, especially when you know about Hugo Weaving was not going to come back. Like in the fact that he just disappeared.
The fact that he came back in that way was cool, I thought.
It was nice fan service.
Was it fan service? It was just
the definition.
No. What? How is it the definition of fan service?
Definition of fan service.
How
is bringing back something or doing something for the sake of pleasing fans. That is the only reason.
I don't think that was really.
You think they planned that from Captain America 1? That when we get to Avengers: Infinity War.
No,
they did.
No, they didn't.
Hang on. I thought
it was cool.
I will agree. They did not plan on bringing him back after for this specific part. Yeah. I don't think they planned it, but
I think it's a good idea.
They brought him back, but not for. I think it was fan service. I think it was like he's the last person. He got transported there. Mm-hmm. He's been there 60 years.
A long time
since World War II,
and
he's just hanging out, and just being like kind of
he humbly accepts,
a guide for the Soul Stone.
He humbly accepts his position, and I think that's kind of cool.
And I know you're gonna hate this, but let's talk about Thanos killing Gamora.
That was stupid.
Why was it stupid, Lawson?
Because love is not an emotion; it's an action, and the whole time it's defined as an emotion. I feel sad because
but there's emotions associated with love.
Sure, but that's not. They said, "Do you love her?" And it's like, "Well, I cried a tear as I pushed her off the edge. I guess that's true love."
I mean,
banged your head on the table. That was.
I thought that was a very powerful moment. I really do.
Oh, it's so good. And he starts tearing up, and he's like, I can't walk away from this my destiny again. And then he throws her off. Yeah, and it was just like his heartbreaking moment.
There's not a single action he takes that indicates that he loves her, other than like crying, which is just an emotion.
He could have tortured her at any moment.
From the context of the movie, it's clearly showing he regrets it. So for the love of God,
this is the lens that you're missing. I mean, we're gonna get in the exact same conversation.
Do bad things, cry over bad things, makes you sympathetic. I don't think so.
It shows that he has emotion.
I don't care.
This is amazing.
Dogs have emotion.
Okay, but people sympathize with emotion. Like if you're crying over something, I sympathize with that.
Not if it's a mass murder. If Hitler's crying over something, I'm gonna laugh as I shoot him. If Thanos is crying over something, I'm like, I don't care, kill him.
I gotta ask a question.
Yes.
Were your parents related to robots, or were you just like? Did your parents rich enough to like own a robot that took care of you?
That's basically it. Yeah,
I think it's interesting that the one person that Thanos cares about is the person that little girl that he adopted.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I feel like a part of him maybe feels guilty that he took.
Well, he loved her.
Yeah, he was like, I took her family away. Maybe he has some feelings like of guilt. I would like to think that about her, but it's set up in the other movies. This is how great this is because in the Guardians, I always forget her name. The sister.
Nebula.
Nebula.
Now she's a sympathetic villain.
Nebula was always saying,
She's
your father's favorite. Your father's favorite.
It's not a
And
villain,
it got to the
Thanos.
point where Thanos was torturing her to get an answer out of Gamora because
He knew Gamora cared about
yeah,
Nebula, but
he
Thanos
played
doesn't
on her
care about
feelings.
That was
Yeah.
a decent scene. That was a good scene.
Thanos doesn't care about Nebula. Nebula's more of a means to an end for Gamora, but he cares about Gamora.
That's set up from Guardians 1, where you turned my favorite daughter against me, or whatever it was. He said that at one point to Nebula. Guardians 1.
So that scene, like, it was so good.
Well,
Yeah, it was a
okay,
good scene.
since I've been so negative and I didn't hate the movie, can I talk about a scene I
Please
liked
talk
a lot?
about what
Sure.
you loved
Yes.
about the movie.
Please, we
This
welcome
has been
it.
very. Oh man,
Yeah.
how to? Okay.
Okay.
Anyways,
Cap's entrance was like the greatest thing in the whole film.
That
for
was
me.
pretty
And the
amazing.
guy next to me
Yeah.
will agree with you.
Yeah, the hysteric.
I'm sorry
real
about that
quick,
guy.
Let me
Holy
real quick.
crap, guy.
To the people listening, all right, so we got 7 seats for me and like 7
yeah,
of
we
us
almost
to
bought
sit.
a whole row.
Yeah,
Half
we
a row.
half a
great.
row.
It was great.
And there's a guy next to me with his girlfriend, and so when Cap shows up, like, we didn't know Cap was going to show up. He screams at the top of his lungs and starts clapping for Cap showing up.
And he did the exact same thing whenever we started losing characters.
When
and I just
people-
the theater got
went
quiet. He goes,
nuts.
no, not him, no,
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like
oh,
that.
come on!
Yeah,
it
it was very like.
I hate that.
Like, here's
Hey,
the
guy
thing.
in the front, shut up.
Well, I enjoy a hype audience in a way. Like, I like it. Like, I liked it when, like, okay, Captain America came out of the shadows and everyone was like, yeah, woo! I'm like, yeah, right, it's cool, this is fun. But no, hold on. But but like, but that guy who's being hysterical and obnoxious did not like that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he hated it.
When it punches
Like,
your
it's
eardrums,
so-
that's when I don't
Yeah,
like
everybody, I'm loving all the deaths because, like, it's and people have said this. Marvel said, we're gonna go for it.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do this, let's go for it.
Yeah.
And they started killing off people. And this guy next to me, he hated it. He was like, no, not the Guardians.
I hated all the clapping when I was watching it. About the third time people started clapping incessantly, we couldn't hear what people were saying. I did the VeggieTales. Why are we clapping? And no one. But okay.
But you like Captain America's
Cap's
entrance, which was great.
Was amazing. It was great. It was really, really good cinematography. I love the train. That was a great.
Yeah, that fight scene that happened
Good.
there was
Maybe
phenomenal.
my second favorite. I still think my
Yeah.
first is Thanos versus Hulk, but man, that was a pretty great fight scene.
That's a good conversation. What I
Fight.
want to go back into that.
Yeah.
What's our favorite fight? But I want to continue on with what you're.
I was just gonna say I love that whole. I love that whole fight. I like surprisingly the chemistry between Vision and Scarlet was better than I expected it to be. I kind of went in and was like, "Oh, this is gonna be lame."
I did the same thing. I didn't know how I was going to feel
Well,
about
they've been
it.
setting that up since.
Yeah, they have been.
Age of
They have
Ultron.
been, but like I there hasn't been enough that we're jumping into full blown relationship. It's like this is gonna be hokey, and I bought it. I liked
Yeah,
it.
It worked.
I mean, as a person who read the comic books, I already knew where they were going
Right.
with
Well,
this because
right,
they
me
literally
too.
get married.
Yeah, but in the MCU, it's not the MCU doesn't
like
always
the
follow
70s,
that, but
right?
it was.
They get married and they have 2 alternate dimension kids. Well, I mean, his
Yeah.
death leads to House of M, which you're not going to do because mutants don't exist.
Yeah.
Which would have been cool.
But I was just gonna say that was a really good moment. I'll say this, it's sort of as, and then I want y'all to talk more because I know if Shoot Scenery is the guy that doesn't like it, but I think the root of the problem I have with this film, where I liked it instead of loving it, is I think I go to these movies I've decided for a different reason than most people like, because it also I think I found the common thread between the movies I like that people don't, and vice versa. I like it when they're acting like a giant family almost. My favorite movie is Winter Soldier, which is like Bucky and Cap, and like everyone else helping him. There's like a real community sense. My second favorite is Age of Ultron, which most people don't like. I found.
What?
Because I love the scene.
Freaking what?
Yeah, no, seriously. Because the scenes at the beginning with the bar, I find like really endearing. It makes me care about these characters. That whole scene at the when they're out on a Hawkeye's like barn, I think it's the highlight of the entire MCU.
I enjoyed Age of Ultron.
And I also, but this is different. I also found Ultron is a more charismatic villain than most of them. He's also one of the upper echelon villains for me. But I was gonna say that's what I like these movies for, are the moments like, again, like Peter and dealing with Vulture. Like there's that sense of like almost a family bickering, and I
all right. Instead of saying Peter, say Spider-Man because
because
there's multiple Peters and it's gonna get confusing.
Yeah. So, but it's Spider-Man, all that stuff. That's what I love about these films. There was exactly zero of that, except for maybe kind of like I said, the beginning romance with. Everything else was action, tightly paced, really good action, lots of good laughs. There was no time for this family dynamic. There was no time for characters to grow, for relationships to develop, and that's why I go to these movies for. There was none of that there.
I'm going to defend it. Mm-hmm. That's what all the other movies are for. This is
sure, and I like those movies better.
This is what this is built up to be. They've already established their relationship with all the characters. Now,
I agree.
A lot of them met for the first time, which I'm fine with, but they still grew as a team.
I agree.
Especially, like,
no, I don't agree they grew as a team, but I do agree. This is.
I mean, look at like freaking Rocket Raccoon, Groot, and Thor. What a unlikely, awesome matchup that was.
I thought that was really cool.
And how well they all fit together. Yeah. They grew as a team.
Groot cut off his arm to help Thor.
Yeah, like
there's some growth.
It's pretty dope.
You shrug at me.
Yeah,
there is some very awesome like team growth there.
What character is different at the end of this movie emotionally as a person than at the start of it?
At the beginning, think about it.
He's a pissed off teenager, but towards the end, after he sees everything that Thor's going through,
he's like,
trying to
save
everything, he sacrifices something to help them.
Yeah,
Groot gives him his arm. He's like, hey, here you go, buddy. I
don't think he changed. I think that's just how he was, and he was given the opportunity to do that.
Stark, he definitely changed after getting stabbed and watching Peter die.
Yeah,
he's just going through the same. He's just going through the same arc he did in Iron Man 3, which was done better there.
Did he watch a kid die?
I don't think. What are you talking about?
In Iron Man 3,
I'm talking about the consequences of my actions, and I better shape up. All that was just done in Iron Man 3 already.
What actions did he take to warrant this happening?
I think there's some growth in Tony.
I feel like you're way off base.
The emotion he had was like it was loss, and I don't think we've seen that level of loss yet in the show or in the series. I mean, we have seen some loss, but like this is the most heaviest.
Yeah.
With all the characters, Peter Parker died in Tony Stark's arms.
It was a good scene,
and it was probably the heaviest scene, arguably, of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some growth there in Tony.
Plus,
I could tell instantly.
It was the youngest Avenger. Also, the death of Vision for Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
Was this is stuff that might lead to growth. We don't see any of that. They don't have a chance to actually act and see how they've grown. We have things that might make them grow in the sequel, which I think will be better.
Groot definitely grew because there are some actions that changed him.
I disagree.
Let's see who else.
Doctor Strange grew.
Yes.
As soon as he figured out there's.
Oh, I gotta talk about this.
Yeah, no.
Him and Tony interacting.
Their interaction's great.
The dynamic,
bashing of egos.
Because they're the same person.
Yes, they are.
They're the same person meeting each other. It's like when people say, if you met yourself, you would hate yourself, and that was pretty much they played on that perfectly.
Yeah,
it was funny
because like especially when it's like. Doctor Strange's like, I don't work for you.
Yeah.
You don't tell me what to do. And I'm like, you go, Doctor Strange. You show him who's boss.
So I have this thing in my what I do when I watch movies, and I know you probably predicted this because I'm thinking ahead of what you're gonna say, Lawson, and Bobby too, because I'm sure he thought about this. But I turn my brain off for this movie for the most. Just I like to be surprised. I like to enjoy things. There's a part in the movie where Doctor Strange gives the time stone, just straight up gives it to Thanos. Yeah. And there's a part of me that was like, why? Like, I didn't say it out loud in the theater like the other guy.
Even Tony
it's clearly the one timeline that he said he saw.
I didn't realize that.
How do you not?
No. I did later. Listen. Like I said, I turn my brain off. I don't try to think about what's this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. I don't enjoy things. I don't enjoy doing
just
that.
Like kind of take it as it comes.
I take it as it comes because I enjoy things.
You know exactly what I want to say.
I know exactly.
The Demolition D quote.
That's why I had to establish it this way, which sounds ridiculous. But I knew you were gonna shoot me down. I did not, and I don't know if you did or not either, Jacob.
What do you mean?
Like the part where he handed the stone over.
Yeah, I didn't think about it
in that moment.
But then afterwards,
in that moment, I was like, "Why did you do that?" I was like, "Man!" And then I realized, I was like, because he went through 14 million different scenarios,
and the one way he
saw, said, "This is the only way."
This is the only way, yeah.
And that was a great scene.
Yeah, but like, I endure it as it comes. I don't, because here's the thing. I think if I just go, oh well, he's gonna do that because obviously, if I come from that mindset, it's gonna take the enjoyability out of it all.
But why not just demand better media that like?
Look, here's the. Hold up. Hold the absolute crap up. First off,
so
I'm not a mindless zombie who likes
getting
anything
hot
I
in
You just
here.
see.
said turn your brain
No,
off.
no, no,
and
no,
then
no,
you'll
no, no,
enjoy
no.
the
That
movie.
is not what I said.
not what I said.
At freaking all. I liked the execution, so I'm just like, okay, cool, whatever. Don't accuse me of being this mindless zombie who
No,
likes...
I don't think you.
Oh,
Can-
okay, but
I'm
like, you know,
confused.
insult my opinions and whatever.
Did I say that I turned my brain off? I just
Yes,
want to make sure.
You did.
Jacob, did I say that?
No.
I didn't remember you saying that at all.
Okay.
I heard you say I had
I
to
said
turn my mind
don't
off.
try. I don't try to predict what's gonna happen.
You literally used the term. I want to go back to the editing. You literally used the
Okay,
term.
maybe
turn my
I
brain
said-
off. I promise you.
I
said
turn
that.
my brain off to a certain point where
Okay.
I don't try to predict things. I don't turn it completely off.
Okay,
Where
I didn't hear
can't,
that.
I can't not do.
He tries
It's
not
like-
to pull a Lawson and go in there like,
It's like if you...
I predicted that.
Yeah, it's like if you watch a magician and, like, you know, you keep trying to figure out how he does his tricks.
That's why I
You're
watch
not gonna-
magicians.
No, but you're not going to enjoy the tricks. You're not going to enjoy the show. So why do that to yourself?
Because
You're missing the point of watching the show in the first place.
This is great.
I don't like the
conversation.
point.
It's
of
like when
watching-
Neil deGrasse Tyson said that, like, the New Year is technically not the year, and he went all about it. It's like, you don't see the point, Neil deGrasse Tyson, you know? It's like...
I just don't understand.
Logic does not compute with Lawson.
Y'all make fun of me all you want. I'm just being honest here. I know y'all are too.
It's
but I'm just
fine.
saying-
It's just...
I'm not saying I don't understand to frustrate you. I just don't understand.
Okay. You
Emotions.
don't understand. I just don't want to feel condescended here.
That's fair. But the
I'm
reason
not trying
the
to
reason
the actual term "turn your
That's
brain
how it
off"
comes
was
off, Lawson.
used though.
maybe I did. I'm trying to remember, but that's not what I
I'm
necessarily.
gonna go
meant.
through the. You've got editing powers.
I have
live
to edit it
powers, and We're gonna edit this.
So, but the point I was trying to make,
Uh-huh.
and when I said, did I say that? I probably did. Did I mean? You know what I meant.
I
when
know what you
said
meant.
what
Well,
I
I
meant.
know
didn't.
exactly
I took
what
you
you meant.
literally. I always take everything literally. You have to be very
It's
specific.
okay. I don't try to like play chess when I'm watching movies. I just watch a movie.
Yeah, you
And-
don't go watch a movie and like, how would I have done this?
Yeah, that's exactly what I think through every movie
Well,
I
I
watch.
do that, but like, okay, but here's the thing. If I... Okay,
Could I have
do
improved
that.
this? How
I
could it have been
couldn't do
improved?
that.
Okay, I do that too, but not always, because
How
look,
could I have had a better baby?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't always do that with like a lot of movies. I do that too, but I don't do that with every movie because like here's the thing. I'm, you know, as a comic book lover and as a Marvel lover, you know, what do? It's like I hold this territory very sacred. So if I'm gonna like,
I feel the same though.
no, you don't.
Yeah, I do. I feel it's
No,
very
you're-
sacred, and I
dude-
think if I could do a better job, then you need to get better people to do this.
But
thing.
here's the thing. I felt the same way about the Justice League movie.
Mhm.
Okay, like I was insulted by the Justice League movie, but for obvious reasons. But with Infinity War, it's like okay, those little things you look at, I find to be minuscule in the grand scheme of things. In the grand scheme of things, I still enjoy the movie in its entirety.
Okay.
These little minuscule things you point out do not take the enjoyability out of it for
They
me.
do for me.
At all. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's fine. But here's the thing, like I guess maybe I took you the wrong way earlier when I thought you were saying like, oh, you just like whatever you see.
No,
That's not what you were
I was
saying.
literally reacting to the term. You have to turn your brain off to enjoy it, and I'm thinking I can't do that.
That's not where I was coming from.
I don't think you have to turn off your brain at all.
No. You
Just
shouldn't
watch it
turn
and
off your
enjoy
brain.
it.
What I'm saying is you shouldn't have to try to predict the plot because I just go.
I
in
do that
with-
for every
I
film,
just
and I enjoy films.
I know you do, but I go in with an open
I
mind
feel
and
like
I don't try to
what he
predict the
should have
movie.
said is, I enjoy film.
I enjoy film.
There's things he likes.
It's okay.
There's
We need to.
one
We need to.
movie
Because there are even movies
he
in
loves.
this MCU that I like, and I went into that with that mindset of, ooh, I wonder what's going to happen. I'm going to try and predict it. And even if I could predict, it's either done in a way that satisfies what I predict or does better.
There's
This
some
did not
things.
do
There's some things that I can link together and predict, but I don't always try to predict the outcome and then expect to be disappointed.
If
Just
I'm
kinda
not
like,
trying,
okay,
if
that
I'm here's my
happens.
thought process: if I'm not trying to guess what's happening, I am not engaged in your movie, and I'd rather be on Twitter. That's just there are two states of brain for me. I'm either paying full attention and I am trying to understand what's happening, and then my brain starts working and I'm trying to understand what's happening and understand where everyone is now and where they'll be in the future, or I'm not paying attention. There is no in between. That is how I watch films. It's how I
So
play
you're
games.
like, to you, you're like Batman watching a movie.
I suppose I don't really.
Where Batman's already figured out the plot twist and how it's going to end
My family won't
by
sit
the
next to
ending
me.
of the credits. I don't blame them
My
at
family,
this point.
my sister doesn't like to sit next to me because I'll lean in about the first 30
But-
minutes and go, "That guy's the villain."
Oh, and by the way,
Your
by the
sister
way,
loved the
I'm going to
movie,
be
though,
honest
right?
with you, and
Yeah,
I'm not
her
going to
favorite
cuss.
Marvel.
If me and you sat next to each other and you did that to me, I will either two things will happen. I will punch you right in the face, or I will tell you to shut the F up. Okay. And if you do not shut the F up, I will punch you in the face. I will leave that theater knowing I won a victory.
Okay.
And
I'm glad you feel resulting to violence over films is the correct way to go about that.
Like I said earlier, when I've been waiting for a movie for 10 years, like I have been on this movie, yes, my violence will ensue if you turn over to me and like, hey, so Thanos is gonna get hit in the stomach and then he's going to destroy everybody.
Yeah, okay.
Bringing it back.
Here's the thing. This entire discussion has gotten as hysteric as I thought The Last Jedi would be.
Yes, which is surprising.
Actually. It is surprising. I did not expect this at all.
It's really good, Lawson.
Good job.
It really is.
I have tried to be very nice.
You have undoubtedly made this conversation
I love because
1,000 times interesting.
Lawson's reaction to all of this right now is my reaction during The Last Jedi. Is like he's like, you're all wrong.
No, well, like it's just I can't. It's not even that I think you're necessarily wrong. It's that I don't understand where you're coming from. It's not. This bothers me too because there are movies where I go, like I don't agree, but I get it. I don't get it. And talking this has made me more confused than when I left because I thought I understood why you guys liked it, and hearing it was not what I thought it was because all the parts you said were your favorite were what I thought were the weakest parts of the film. And I'm leaving this conversation very confused.
We will all go out, find that pill that Bradley Cooper takes in Limitless.
Rocket Raccoon.
We will take it, and we will go see the movie again. We will learn from our mistakes.
So, best fight scene in the movie for you, Bobby?
Okay.
Sorry,
make the discussion lighter.
I'm gonna have to say the battle on Titan between Thanos and.
That was my third favorite.
Mini Justice League. I really enjoyed it because it was like, oh, we almost got him. We almost got him. No.
Yep.
And I know people were complaining about. I've heard people complain about what Star-Lord.
No, that's good. That was one of the few things I thought was good because it was like they did that thing in Civil War again where someone learns something, they do something stupid. But it was in character for Star-Lord. He has a history of acting that way. Yes. That's literally how he won.
Oh, the lady next to me who was with the guy who was really loud, she was like, Star-Lord, you're stupid. And I'm like, no.
That's his character.
It's his character. Why would he not feel that emotion for Gamora, the woman he loves, dying?
I agree because I was going to say, because again, Civil War, when Iron Man did that, I went, that felt out of character to me. This didn't. I was like, that seems like something Star-Lord would do. I buy that.
I don't. Yeah. I didn't think in Civil War.
Okay. I liked this one.
I agree with that.
Okay. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that I don't blame Star-Lord at all.
Yeah, I'm going to go. So my favorite, I'm a sucker for battle scenes. That's why Return of the King is my favorite because it's 3 hours of a battle and it's fantastic. But Wakanda, yeah, that was so cool. I mean, like, it's your typical, like...
What David said, I agree with him. He was just, like... It was the most pointless part of the movie.
It was an excessive CGI army. Nothing we're not used to, but...
Speaking for my imaginary bro here, he's here and he hated that.
But no. The moments in there, a lot of the, like, heck yeah moments in there were pretty cool to me.
What were the heck yeah moments?
Like, when, like,
Scarlet Witch... fatalities somebody.
Well,
she throws her up in the
the flying lawnmower.
I did the train station fight. That was cool. That was really cool. I can't rank these because I just know what I like, but the train station fight was awesome. What am I bring it back to? Okay, the battle scene. So the Hulk, right? Okay, so he's in the Hulk, or Bruce Banner is in the Hulkbuster. He's pinned down by this big behemoth dude. I forget his name. But...
Yeah.
The guy that got his arm cut off.
Yeah, but like he like shoots his hand rocket and shoots him into the dome.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty
awesome.
amusing. That was pretty great. That was pretty. I was like, yes. Like I like moments like that.
So, my favorite was probably, I almost can't decide between the train scene and the fight on Titan. Both those fights just were so well. I'd like to talk about the villains that were on
Squidward.
The villains in the train scene. The I can't remember Thanos's
Horn Lady. Horn
I
lady.
know their name. I can't remember.
The children of
The children of Thanos.
All the children of Thanos.
yeah.
Midnight Proxy Midnight.
Yeah, something like I can't remember the name of them.
Midnight.
Um,
I only saw their Funko Pop figures, so that's why I kind of know the names.
Can I say something about them? I don't know why, and I don't have a reason for this, but I hated them, like in a good way.
Like love to hate them.
I love to hate them.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I mean. Like I'm like. The kid inside me was like, beat him up.
Yeah,
take him down.
Yeah,
I don't like them.
The dude with telekinesis was like, rejoice. And you're like, oh, that dude.
Yeah, and
like,
he's so yeah. They just had this air of just
Now that one I
take
know.
him down,
That's
guys.
Huh?
Take him down.
The guy who was Children of Thanos.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Ebony Maw.
Gotcha.
Corvus Glaive was the one in Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive. Corvus Glaive might not be dead.
Yeah,
it depends on if they go by the comic book because his power he's able to regenerate by his weapon.
Gotcha.
So he might not be dead.
I will just say this: when Captain America, Black Widow, and was it Bucky was in there, right?
No, that was at the it was
Captain America,
Vision, Scarlet Witch,
and Falcon.
Scarlet and Falcon. Yeah, Falcon was the other one. I knew there was one more person. I just couldn't remember. When they came in and started kicking butt, I was pleasantly pleased with that scene. I was like, cool. I just had a very sense of
that may be my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, I just had this sense of like joy and gratification that they were whooping some tail.
Yep.
Can I also? I enjoyed Captain America going up to General Ross and being like, "Come at me, bro."
Yeah,
that was a great
Come
scene.
at me, bro.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, bro? You got a giant spaceship outside. What are you gonna do, bro? You need me, bro.
Cap wasn't in it as much as I would have liked because I went the old movie.
I think
Cap.
he's gonna. I think like killing off some people is gonna give more time to those people.
The moments he was in, man, he owned it.
Or other moments, Winter Soldier picking up Rocket.
Oh yeah!
Oh yes!
Oh yeah! That was actually great. That was good. That was at Wakanda. That was Wakanda. That was the highlight of Wakanda for me.
That was so cool.
Cap and Black Panther teaming up to just kick ass.
It's pretty cool.
Or Black Widow and Michonne teaming up to take
out
bro.
Okay,
dope stuff.
So there's one other thing I think I would be remiss if we didn't touch on at least because I know we got to wind down soon. But could we talk about Giant Peter Dinklage?
Giant Peter Dinklage.
That was a great, clever nod. I love it.
Was great.
That whole scene was actually anything with Thor and like the.
It explained a lot in that scene. It explained the gauntlet.
Can we talk about how great Stormbreaker is?
Yeah,
he's so much better than Mjolnir.
So cool.
So cool.
So cool.
Like,
he had that in the Ultimates. Arc.
Well, originally in the original comic, Stormbreaker is for a character named God, why can't I remember his name?
Beta Ray Thor?
Beta Ray Thor, yeah.
Okay. So, can I bring something up real quick?
Yeah.
We watched Ragnarok, and me and you had a discussion about it. Thor didn't need his hammer anymore, so it's good. And I accepted that, but there's still this part of me I was like, man, Thor really needs something.
I feel like the hammer helps him channel his ability.
It does, and it gives him more of an oomph.
But this Stormbreaker weapon
it
gave me that back, and I was like,
having it be part Groot was a good choice. I appreciated that. I don't consider that a growth moment, but I thought it was a cool fan service moment.
Hang on.
It grew off of him.
It's true.
Literally growth.
I'm gonna say something that there's a scene I really loved, and
that's it. The podcast
and that's,
is over. No
that's
finale.
When Thor is they're going to the star, and Thor's talking about like his revenge and talking about Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that like that scene was like Chris Hemsworth really knows how to act.
Yes.
Because that one scene, I thought he displayed so many emotions.
Yes.
Because he anger, fear, remorse.
That was a really good scene for him.
Like,
agreed.
So many emotions came out from that one scene. I was like, oh, that's so good.
This is one other thing I'll mention. I really was able to sympathize when the characters that I knew and cared about that we had. You mentioned like, and I agree. Even though I like the movies better where they are growing than the big team up one, just inherently I'm gonna like those better. I think they handled it about as well as it could be done. Possibly, I couldn't have, but because I had that build up with Thor and Cap and all these other characters, I cared when they had emotions. I think part of the problem I have is besides the fact that I think Thanos is a psychopath and I just don't care. Is that he didn't get the same build-up. I know we've had little clips of him, but I've had 3 full movies with Thor, and then he's been cameoed at a bunch of others. So when he's sad and he's hurt, and I've seen why, I've had like literal years of my life
I can understand
to get that. And Thanos is like, I'm sad because I have to do tough things. I'm like, I found out about that 30 minutes ago. It hasn't even sunk in. I think that may be part of it too.
I think that's fair. That's a better explanation than what you had earlier.
Because Thor, well, I think both are equally true for me. Because I also like Thor. I think Thor is a good person, so I care about what he feels. I don't care what a bad person feels. But I was gonna say, because I completely agree with what you were saying, Bobby. That like that was like some stellar grade 8 acting from Chris. Like
best acting in the whole
I mean,
movie.
it was good. It was like And they managed to balance that goofy tone from Ragnarok. They didn't completely remove it without reverting him to kind of boring Thor.
That's true.
Quote unquote.
I noticed that too.
It was so they hit it right
the
down
tone
the middle.
carried his attitude carried from Thor Ragnarok, but not excessively.
I felt like his character was like he wasn't joking. He was just involved in a joke.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
basically.
He made some jokes where he was talking about like he was doing
Thor,
the tight.
You remember when he got the eye from Rocket?
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
that was a great part.
That was
He's just like hitting his head. He's like, "It's not working."
It's dark.
Dark. Yeah.
The humor was on point. I felt
okay.
like.
Speaking of the humor, did anybody catch this joke? I feel like Rocket Raccoon had a puberty joke with Groot.
Yes.
When he kept going, what's the deal? It's just a few twigs.
No, yeah, he said it's just a twig. Everyone has a twig.
Yeah.
Or everyone's seen a twig. Yeah,
that was like.
Well, because he was talking about peeing. That was
That was a like it's cool. It's
And
part
then
of life. Kind of.
Thor
moment.
calling Rocket Raccoon Rabbit.
Oh yeah.
That was. And Rocket did not even
He's
correct
like,
him. He's just like, you know what? I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let this guy. Yeah, I'm not even gonna
The
say
humor
anything.
was on point. I thought the action was on point.
I
gotta
never
give it
thought
that.
I'd laugh at a SpongeBob joke, but I will.
Squidward.
Tony calling the Ebony Maw Squidward was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, so fantastic.
No, when Star-Lord flicked off Thanos and disappeared into another dimension.
That was pretty good too.
That was great. Because that's so Star-Lord.
One other thing I really got to give the movie, because again, I know I was kind of had to be the negative guy by comparison.
Yeah.
But I really did like it. I want to clarify that.
Oh, really?
I did. It's a solid. We'll get to the ratings later, but
Okay.
I said thumbs up or thumbs down. Thumbs up.
Okay.
I just liked it a lot less. I thought it was Civil War 2. I thought it was a lot of dumb, fun action is how I felt about it.
Okay.
I didn't get any of the emotions, but I like as a popcorn muncher for me, I really enjoyed it. Oh crap, I forgot what I was going to say. I got distracted by that. Oh yeah, everyone felt in character.
Oh, definitely.
Which was great because this is not all the same. It's just the Civil War writers basically. And like the James Gunn characters, the Guardians characters, still felt like the Guardians characters to me. Tony felt like Tony.
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, and I felt that was because again, I felt parts of, and I know this is disagreement, but I felt parts of Civil War written by the same guys. I felt sometimes characters were stretching, if not breaking character. I didn't ever get that for a second. Everyone felt spot on how they should be. And I really got to give them props because you're balancing like 36 main characters or something.
Well, the Russos are great.
Yeah.
Especially if you watch Community because they did the paintball episodes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The Russo brothers did
Both of them.
They that's how they got Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Is because of the paintball episodes in Community.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's
Really?
beautiful.
Yes.
That is.
Well, one of them was on the
absolutely
writing staff
beautiful.
of the first cap, though.
Probably.
Only one of them, though. I looked at this up.
Oh, really?
I looked this up. One of them was.
I know they looked at the Community episodes and saw that.
But I just major props to them for balancing that because there were parts I said I felt like if they had thrown there were tweaks I would have made that I think would have made it a better movie. I don't think I could have balanced 36 other people's characters, kept them all in character as well as they did. That is like mad writing props. I got to give it to them. So yeah, thought I'd put that out there.
I completely agree, 100%. It's awesome.
And Thor's upgraded towards the end of the movie was great too.
Yeah.
Thor's what?
He gets an upgrade. He's like in full God mode when he shows up.
Oh yeah, when he's got like
the cape.
I do have a question, and I thought about this. And you may be able to contribute to this. This is me getting a little more deep thought. Can Thanos kill Thor with a flick of his finger?
Probably.
With a snap of his finger.
Mm-hmm.
And would Thor have been counted in the half population?
Because it's half of everybody. I mean, technically the gods are just they're normal.
Wait, how many gods are left?
It's kind of. I think it's
because
like Thor and maybe like a ship that might have gotten away. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, Okay, I want to know, Lawson. Okay, so I think we all three agree that Loki's clearly alive.
Yeah.
Why do you think he's alive?
I never said he was alive.
He didn't think. He said.
I think he's actually dead. I just think.
No, we said us three.
No, like us three agree that.
I don't think he's. I think he's staying dead. I mean, I don't think he's staying dead. I don't think anyone's staying dead because when you kill a character that you are going to stay. Let me put it this way: Thor's mom in Thor 2 got more fanfare as a death than Loki got in this. So there's no way he's staying dead. He is one of the most beloved characters in this universe.
Oh, you think it's for that reason?
Yeah, no, it's not. There's not a plot reason. I'm just saying this is a beloved character. When you're going to permanently kill a beloved character and you're done, you're going to give him a more dignified send-off than they did.
Okay. And
which I know is one of those thinking outside. I'm not thinking inside the movie. I'm thinking outside the movie. Yeah. But that's why.
So where I'm coming from is more plot-wise. Yeah. Because I feel like it makes more sense to the character that he wouldn't be that stupid to...
I could see him dying for Thor, potentially, but it would have been given more gravitas than a 5-minute intro.
Yeah, I don't...
Look at his fake death in 2. Again.
Yeah.
And that was given more gravitas than if this is really dead. I will be disappointed in the Russos if that's actually how he dies and stays dead because it was given so little fanfare, which I get the point. But at that point it would have been throwing away a great character without good fanfare to prop up Thanos, and I think that's weak writing, but I don't think that's what's happening.
I feel like when Thor said that he thinks Loki's actually dead, I do literally think he feels that Loki's actually...
I mean, he might feel that, but I think he's coming back. But I think everyone's coming back. They're going to undo everything.
Oh, I mean, that's what's going to happen. Yeah. But I feel like...
So I'm sure, he may be... I think he's dead. I don't think he's not dead. I just think he's coming back in the next movie along with everyone else.
Things are popping up in my head, like what I want to talk, because we're running out of time. Mm-hmm. But one more thing I'd like to talk about. I hate to jump in here.
Do it.
But at the end of the movie, after Thanos had looked on the sunset and he'd done what he came to do, his glove was like crushed.
It was all melted up.
It was all melted up. So, any theories? I think I have a theory.
There's two theories.
Don't know where to start with it, but
I know.
Did y'all think about that? Or?
Well, the glove, as much as it's made by Thor's, the same people made Thor's hammer and Mjolnir and everything. The stones are beyond kind of the glove itself. Because it's used to house the power but like you're talking about his main thing was killing half the universe. That takes a lot of power. I think it just really hurt the glove. He might go try to get another one made. I'm not sure.
I tend to agree. I tend to think it was I think they were hinting at something that I think they should have had a throwaway line, which is the idea that the glove cannot use the full power of this without it's not limitless. Even though the stones are limitless, the ability to channel it is not. Which would also potentially, this is what would have made it a better movie. They could have explained, like, look, this thing has the power, the gauntlet has the power to kill half the universe. It doesn't have the power to make infinite food and infinite planets.
So if they go into the second part of this and they explain that, would that clear up some of your problems?
It will help. I think they should have established it earlier because then you still have half a movie where the characters' motivations don't make sense to me. But it's a step in the right direction.
I'm going to throw this out for you. Even in the past 8 years, they've been setting this up.
Yeah.
Well,
whatever. A while.
7 years.
Yeah.
10.
Well, I would go by Avengers 1.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
So it's 10 years from like
from Iron Man.
Iron Man 1, but. A lot of people really don't know how much power these stones actually have, because you can tell by even by how Ronan uses the stone, he doesn't use it as potentially as he could.
Yeah, agreed.
So there's a lot of people getting the stones. They know it has immense power, but they don't use it to its full potential like they could.
I think you're right about a lot of that. I just wish it had been, again, I don't want a full manual. I just want them to clear up some maybe the seeming contradictions, but I think that would clear up a lot of them when they say that. I think they probably will mention it. Someone will say that. Was there anything else we would talk about? Because I know we're running low on time. But the only other potential theory is Thor's attack damaged it with lightning, which I find far less likely. But
I think it has something to do with what he did.
With Thor?
The weight of what Thanos did.
Oh, I agree. I think that's what it's... Because it also, actually, if it damages the gauntlet and he can't make a new one, it actually gives them a chance to beat him, the remaining heroes. Because now he doesn't have the full power of the gauntlet and he can't just kill them instantly. He's got to do it himself. And the heroes are a lot weakened, obviously, but there's enough left that they could probably take on a Infinity Gauntless Thanos.
I think he still has like enough power.
Gauntless.
Gauntless.
I like it. Gauntless.
Whatever. But yeah, either way, can we all agree that in his current state, he probably cannot use the full power of the Infinity Stones?
Probably not right now.
Probably not.
Maybe not.
Which gives the heroes a chance in the second film, which is good because I would like to see an act. I like you said, it's MacGuffin, and I get it, but it bothers me when it's like that's another one of the things that took the tension out for me. Is I'm like, he could at any point do X, and because if they had just established this a little bit earlier, where they're like, no, if he uses too much of the Infinity Stones too early, then it'll ruin the gauntlet, and he can't use his wish. That would have like cleared up so much for me, but they didn't do that. I'm left to speculate, and it's possible, and there's some hints towards that, but I wish they had just thrown in a line like, look. Use too much of that power, it's going to ruin the gauntlet. And it also, even with the gauntlet, can't create infinite resources. I don't know. I wish they had just a throwaway line would have fixed like half my problems.
Okay.
Yeah. So, do we want to do final ratings? I know we're.
Yes, actually, I want to go around and do final ratings.
Lightning round.
I'll start. I like to do like my personal ratings are like a grade system. So
like school grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Jacob's rating.
I actually was stuck between B+ and A-, but I'm gonna go with how much I enjoyed it watching it the first time, so I'll go with A-. It's.
Did you watch it a second time?
No.
Okay.
But just judging by what I felt the first time watching it, I'll give it an A- because in the end, did it have flaws here and there? Of course it did. It's not that I don't recognize that. But was this an entertaining, like high octane, like enjoyable movie? Yes, it was, and for that reason, I give it its rating.
Gotcha. My rating is going to be a 9.5 out of 10, and the reason why it's not getting a 0.5 is because that's my first initial watch. It may change to a 10 after I watch it again. Possibly one of my favorite, if not my most favorite Marvel movie to date.
Could change to a 5.
It could. Things sit with me weird.
Next time you watch it.
I still haven't rewatched Last Jedi. I'm sure I'll like it more the second time.
I actually liked it more the second time.
So I'm gonna get it on DVD or Blu-ray and watch it. But anyways, I'm gonna go see it again Tuesday with my wife, and she's looking forward to it. I'm gonna watch it again, and it might turn to a 10. Right now it's a 9.5 because I feel safe with that, and I loved it. It was action packed. I highly recommend it. Go see it right now, if you're caught up with the Marvel movies. Bobby.
I also go with a 10 rating. I go a 9. I'm not gonna go 9.5 until I see it again, but I thought it was excellent. I thought it was great. I thought Thanos was great. I thought characters are great. Fantastic movie. Action scenes are amazing.
Yes.
It was funny. Sad. Heart. Got my heart going.
Yeah.
I said, wouldn't cry. I didn't cry.
I laughed, I cried.
I kept on...
moved me, Bob.
It's all right. It's lost.
I don't do half stars or anything like that. I do a 5-star rating system, and it is rigid. So it's 3 out of 5 for me, and that's not like I could do a 3.5 or 2. It's just that's which is liked. I'm gonna be honest, which I know I enjoyed it. I don't regret seeing it. I don't feel like it wasted my time. In a world where I wouldn't be spoiled, I would have rather waited on it for not Blu-ray, Redbox or something like that. I kind of wish I had rented it a little bit, personally, where I could have watched it like in the convenience of my home, made some popcorn myself, like taking bathroom breaks. I wasn't on the edge of my seat, let me put it that way. But I genuinely liked it. I don't regret seeing it. I also can't say I have like any desire to watch it again like I do. I want to rewatch Winter Soldier again and again. It was one of my favorite movies. It was fine.
Okay.
Fair enough.
You heard it from us, people. It's very hot in this room, and it's not because of...
If there's anyone out there, everyone loves it, but I just want to know, is there anyone out there who doesn't hate it? I didn't hate it, and if you hate it, I'm probably not going to agree with you. Is there anyone out there who thought it's okay? I want to hear from you, Lawson, because I feel alone in this world right now.
Give Lawson some help.
I want to know someone loves me. Okay.
Hey, Lawson.
No.
Let's pat
I'm
you
drawing
on
the line here. No. No, because we didn't do that during The Last Jedi, so you get nothing.
I get enough.
You get
I think that's fair. Bobby has
like
a
me
fair
better.
argument.
Okay,
No,
but
they
this
don't.
definitely.
That's actually true. They don't.
Here's the thing. I think that discussions like this make for fun television.
Yes.
So
Especially when you can't say anything.
oh, no, but like in the end, guys, I think this was a pretty thorough, like high octane discussion.
Definitely was.
Yes.
So with that said, guys, hit us up on all of our central social media:
Twitter,
Facebook,
Instagram.
YouTube,
Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah, just hit us up on that. Support us any way you can, and of course, leave your comments, leave your opinions. We would love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Give us some likes.
Tell me why I'm wrong. I'm ready.
Okay, but yeah.
Crucify me. I'm ready for it. I will accept my fate.
As we have done in this entire
Give us
episode.
Barabbas.
And join us next week when we talk about villains.
Yes.
Ooh.
Next week. Yes.
Wait, villains again?
No, dude. We're that one.
We haven't gotten there yet.
We haven't
that's
yet.
true.
We have not yet talked about villains.
We have not yet talked
That's
about
true.
it.
We have not even done this podcast yet.
We have not already recorded the
Oh,
Villains
okay.
podcast
That's right.
and are saving
Of course. My continuity is skewed.
Yeah. Well, but the fun thing is, in other timelines, where the next week that is actually being recorded in another timeline might have to do with some interesting concepts and might have an interesting guest.
it.
If we
Yes.
can get them.
Are you going to throw a dice up in the air and see what different dimensions we get to go in?
I love that episode.
This is getting into Terminator
It's getting
territory
too
with our time
Actually,
travel. So
community episode.
Yes.
okay.
All right.
Yeah, were you gonna say something?
No, that was it.
That's it.
Okay, but yeah, guys, we'll see you next time. See ya.
Bye.
Hail Cthulhu.
All right. No.
Hey guys, thank you for listening to Geekisodes. I hope you enjoyed this last episode. Lawson hopes you enjoyed it too.
Absolutely. No, I had a lot of fun despite all the heated emotions. Just want you to know we're all good friends here. We really enjoyed it. Hey, thanks so much for listening to this extra special, big, long episode and for sticking with us week by week. We really have a lot of fun making this for you guys, and we just really appreciate the chance to be able to talk to each other and have you guys listen and input. Hope you look forward to the next week's episode, and we'll be back on a regular schedule and be able to enjoy that stuff.
Yes, like, subscribe, and please comment. We love doing this. We want to keep doing it. So help
Reach
us
out to us on Twitter also.
Yes.
That's really where we're the easiest to get, but we're also on Facebook, Instagram, etc. We're really available. We'll take suggestions. We love that kind of input and just see what you guys are interested in hearing in the first place.
and then more funny clips and discussion next week.
Absolutely.
See you guys later.
Take care.